Morning to you, gang. It's Wednesday, the 4th of September 2019. Welcome along to the Chapel Hill Marina and this morning's United Kingdom talk. Lovely to be back with you after a couple of days. Turned on the telly this morning, and who was the main news person? The delightful Steph on BBC Breakfast. I do like her. She's got this just naturally friendly, a little bit like my own, naturally friendly face, don't you think? I do like Stefan. She has been elevated to BBC Breakfast main, I don't know what you call it, main person type. And they shoved the other one over onto Westminster, where she was getting, I think she was getting quite wet. Looks like it's raining in London. That's not the bad news in London, though, this morning. Because then I get the London travel news up here in Lincolnshire for some reason. I think at certain points you see the London traffic news on the BBC News channel all over the country. I don't know why they do, but that's it. And then it come up to the travel that came up there. Northern Line suspended. Pff, I bet that's fun this morning. Who travels on the Northern Line in London? Answer, millions of people every day. Well, probably not millions, tens of thousands of people every day. So if you're trying to get on a tube this morning and you think you're going to get on the Northern Line, don't think so. It's been suspended. What a thing to happen. Anyway, they're the two little bits of news this morning. I'll tell you about my day. I thought I'd read your early messages first because we really are not catching up. Sometimes there's so many messages coming through, I'm not catching up. So I'll start with those this morning, if that's all right with you, and say good morning to Mr. Mark Bowles. First message of the day from Mark, watching on the YouTube live. Good morning, Mark. John Aitken over on Facebook. Wandering Haggis. I was born under a wandering star. Do you remember that one? I was born under a... It was that cowboy bloke did that, wasn't it? Oh, what's his name? Very, very famous, except he's not in my head at the moment. What's his name? The cowboy bloke. You know the one. Great song. Morning to Kate Doody. She's a relatively newcomer, aren't you, darling? Good morning, Kate. Adrian Richardson, good morning to you. Diane Jebb. Mick Davenport. Wandering Haggis is loving the introduction. Thank you, Wandering Haggis. Now, can I just explain, because we have got a lot of new people with us now. There is like a 5-minute intro to this show. I'll be honest, I haven't seen anyone else do it like that. The reason is I like people to sort of be there. It kind of makes sense to me to do something like that. Perhaps 5 minutes is a little bit long, but that's how it is. And as soon as you see it, there's a little clock comes up at the bottom within about 30 seconds, and it counts down from the 5 minutes. The reason is that by the time I start, you're there. You see what I mean? I could just click on, and then there'd be no one there, and I'd be talking to myself. You know, which is something I do quite often. Who else does that? Does anyone talk? Did I turn off the autofocus this morning? Hang on a minute, let me just double check that, because you don't want that focusing in and out, do you? I think I've forgotten to do that, which is very unlike... Oh, no, hang on a minute, where is it? The autofocus is... How can that have disappeared? Focus. Oh, no, it isn't. It isn't on. Okay, good. Yes, it's something that I do quite a lot to myself. I walk around the house talking. I tell you what I have started doing, talking to the television. I mean, does anyone else do that? You know when you're watching like a programme or something like that, and that can be like a drama programme or the news. In particular, the news last night. When I was glued to the news last night, watching the latest Brexit vote type thing. Oh God! And it rolls on and on. We don't do Brexit on here. Indeed, we don't really do politics. Although I will do this morning. I'm going to do a quick impression. You ready? Who's this? Go on, any idea? Jacob Rees-Mogg. They're going mad this morning. He put his feet up, didn't he? He looked very tired. I should think he would get tired. They don't look very comfortable, those seats in the Houses of Parliament, do they? Honestly, the BBC News people outside, I've noticed they've changed their microphones. Anyone notice that? They've now got these they're a little bit like this, but they're kind of right up to their mouth like that, because of all the people outside screaming and shouting and moaning. They've got better things to do than stand outside the Houses of Parliament screaming and shouting, dear. God, so I think they've got these things up because we're picking up an awful lot of background noise over the last few days with all the screaming and shouting outside, and they're not even close to them. You know, I know exactly where they stand because I used to actually drive around the Parliament Square 3 times a week when I used to work at Belushi's in London Bridge. And I mean, the news people are kind of a little bit further up on the green. But it's incredibly noisy. I was having trouble working out what it was saying. So the BBC people, I don't know if the Sky people have done the same, but they've now got these little headset mics, which I don't like the look of them. Now, I've seen those used on television programmes, on entertainment programmes before. I think, who's the bloke with the gay bloke with the big teeth? You know, hello, hello. And he's got smiling all the time. What's his name? He was in Torchwood. John Barrymore. John Barrymore? It's John Barrymore. I think that's his. No, that's not. Man. John Barrowman. He had one. I'm sure he had one once. And I thought, oh, I don't like the look of that. And the Eurovision hosts, one year they had it on as well. A couple of years back. I'm not keen on those at all. So that's the reason for the 5-minute intro, you see. So I just let that roll, and then people log on, and by the time I start rabbiting away here, you're there. As if by magic. As if by animal magic. Remember the tune? With Johnny Morris. Talking of magic, look at this idiot here in the Sun this morning. You always hear about these religious people, right? There are religious people and there are religious freaks. This is a religious freak. Not only the I don't know what he's a priest or pastor. Anyway, a school in Tennessee in the US of A, see what you think of this, has banned the Harry Potter books after its pastor claimed they contain real curses and spells. Hopple, popple, toil and trouble. I think I'd make a very good witch, didn't you? I wanted to be a Disney witch. I wanted to be Ursula in The Little Mermaid. Ba 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 under the sea, under the sea. Yes, what I want from you is your voice, but I can't give you my voice. Oh, you have your looks, your pretty face, and don't underestimate the thing of body language. Yes, I wanted to be Ursula. Anyway, going back to this story, the Reverend Dan Rehill of St. Edward's Catholic School in Nashville explained in an email to parents and pupils that he had... Are you ready for this? He had consulted exorcists in the US and the Vatican before deciding to proscribe the series of Harry Potter books. He says, these books present magic as both good and evil, which is not true, but in fact, a clever deception, he wrote. This is a child's book. What's the book? Hang on a minute. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. We love the Harry Potter films, don't you? Do you? We had a similar thing in the church in Roehampton a few years back. I'll tell you about that. These books present magic as both good and evil. The curses and spells used in the books, he goes on to say, are actual curses and spells, which when read by a human risk conjuring evil spirits into... You probably think you're looking at one this morning. Do you think you're looking at an evil spirit this morning? They risk conjuring evil spirits into the presence of the person reading the text. It's all very worrying, dear. Very worrying. The school teaches children of pre-kindergarten age through to the 8th grade. So what's that? That's up to about 9, 10, 11 years old? What's the 8th grade? That doesn't mean they're 8, does it? Or does it? I don't know. Harry Potter, it goes on to say in The Sun, is a series of fantasy children's novels written by J.K. Rowling and published between 1997 and 2007. The books were a worldwide success and went on to sell more than 500 million copies. So, I mean, there we are. The story goes on down a little bit. The Harry Potter series has drawn criticism from Christians, particularly in the United States since its release. You see, now I'm a Catholic Christian, right? I look at that book. I'll be honest, I don't really read much, but I certainly watch the films. I wouldn't class it as any more than a little bit of fun, would you? Now, in the church in Roehampton, where I used to play the organ, I remember it was coming up to Halloween. And the priests announced that on the 31st, they can invite all the children and we're going to have a festival of light because they consider Halloween is evil and very dangerous and all that business. And I'm like, well, no, it's not. It's just children walking around doors getting free stuff. Yeah, if I could put on smaller clothes, I'd be knocking on, oh, good morning. Have you got a spare television? You know, well, you've got to upgrade it a bit if you're an adult. If you're a child, you go around knocking on these doors. Hello, trick or treat, please. And you get all these sweets. I went round with great nephew George and great niece Emily. Was it last year? It was, yes, I'm sure it was. Yes, it was. It was last year. I went out with great niece Emily and great nephew George, and of course my niece Tracy. And we went round the houses where they live in Woodall Spa, knocking on the doors. And you knew which doors to knock at because they would have some sort of Halloween type thing outside the house, whether it be a light or some sort of setup, you know, that perhaps spiders' webs hanging down and things like, do you know what I mean? Or pumpkins outside. My niece says you look for those and they're the houses that you knock at where you can be guaranteed to get goodies. We want the goodies. Give me the goodies. You know, I did suggest that I would knock at the house as well in some sort of outfit, but my niece said no. Oh, how boring is that? The kids were up for it. No, not my niece. No, I don't think that would be appropriate. So she wouldn't let me do it. I think we should have an adult Halloween where we go knocking on houses and collect, otherwise known as burglary. You sit there and demand that, give us your mobile, and we can wear hoodies as well. Oh no, I think someone already does that in certain parts of London. Give us your mobile phone. What do you reckon? Is that a good idea? Anyway, so the priest says we're going to have this festival of light. And I thought, oh, for God's sake, man, it's just a bit of fun. There's no fun in this world. People are so serious, aren't they, dear? So that's the news there from the Sun. Harry Potter books. Don't go to that school, St. Edward's Catholic School in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, what's Nashville? Is that Dolly Parton country, Nashville? Working 9 to 5. She's very well endowed, that girl, isn't it? Nothing on my sister, mind. She's got the big... In the whole of the country, and my sister. She has, darling. Morning to Adam the Plumber. Good morning. Hello to Claire. Good morning, Claire. Got your raffle ticket there, all right, my darling? Oh, raffle tickets later, okay? If you're waiting for a raffle ticket, that'll come up towards the end of the programme. Giving out raffle tickets, so I haven't got one here. So you can win a fridge magnet on our next draw, which is Monday morning, sort of between 9 and 10 o'clock, okay? Good morning to Michael Lawrence. Morning to Mark Bowles. Loved watching the karaoke on Monday. Yes, I do stream that on the YouTube. I'm thinking of creating another YouTube channel specifically for the karaoke because I'm not sure that the people that like the chat show like the karaoke. I know some of you do, but it might be better to split the two up in its own separate channel. So I'm looking at a way of doing that, okay? Good morning to Mandy Waite, good morning, who is in Croatia this morning. Morning, Mandy, first time along for the show today. All right, glad you love the shirt. This shirt was given to me by Mary, whose funeral we attended yesterday, non-Irish Mary from Ireland, who was a very, very good friend of mine for years and years. And she gave me this shirt, and I wore it at the request of her niece, actually. She said, can you wear that? Because I wore it Monday night for the karaoke. So I did wear it yesterday at the funeral. I felt a bit odd wearing such a thing at the funeral, but my friend Mary, she liked bright colours, same as me. We don't like dull. We don't like dull colours, and we don't like dull people, you know? I don't think I'd get on very well with many members of Parliament or anything like that. We like exciting things, not dull. Miserable, dull things and people that just moan all the time. I don't like that. I like bright colours. And so did Mary. So I did wear it. And it wasn't a problem, really. Wore it to the church. I'll tell you about that in a minute after I've finished our first little messages here. Mandy thought I was in the Caribbean. Pfft, I wish. I wish. I've been to Barbados. I went to Jamaica, but only for like an hour or two when we got off this boat. Me and my mate went on a cruise ship once. one of the places we stopped at was, we had a terrible row on the boat. We had the most awful row. In fact, I came back a week early. That's got to be over 10 years ago now. It's just one of those things, and we do laugh about it now, but it was terrible at the time. We had the most awful row. But we got off at Jamaica and we did a little bit of shopping and got back on the boat. So I can't really honestly say I went to Jamaica, can I? But we've been to St. Lucia. I've been to St. Lucia. That was on my own. I say on my own. I went to be best man at a friend's wedding, and he married a lovely girl who we lost, unfortunately, a few years ago to breast cancer, Andy. And her name was Shona. Lovely, 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 warm girl. And she got the blooming breast cancer and died. Only young. I think she was early 30s, I think. Terrible, really. But that was nice. St. Lucia was nice, yeah. Good evening to Robert Dexter. Good morning, Robert. Who's got pink... he's got a Pink Flamingos T-shirt on as well. Oh, Asda. Oh, really? Oh, I'll have a look in there, because there's an Asda in Boston, which I'll probably go to at some point today. I'm determined to get down that swimming pool today. It's been like almost 2 weeks. It's disgusting. It's just how things have gone. Things have been happening here and back at home as well, which have stopped me going for swimming. And I feel incredibly unfit at the moment just because I haven't been swimming for 2 weeks. I hope I'll be able to do my usual 50 lengths in that pool. Wondering Haggis, my sister sent you over, did she? Oh, okay. That's the one who farts on the telly a lot, isn't it? Hello to Ray. Good morning, Ray. Still in hospital. Oh, sorry to hear that, Ray. Your show got me through, hopefully today. All the best to you. I hope you get home today, Ray. But you know what? Sometimes the hospital is a better place for you to stay. It really is. My mate wanted to come home early from hospital, and they said no. But, you know, you are better because, you know, if you suddenly go the other way, the last thing you want to do is do that journey again all the way to hospital, innit? You know? I'd stay put until you're better. Stay put. Claire, Lee Marvin. Thank you very much, Lee Marvin. He's the one that sung Wandering Star. You know, I was born under... I love that song. I haven't heard that for years. I might play that on YouTube later. Morning to Heidi Oliver in London. Good morning, young Heidi. She went to visit my mate in hospital and he was so pleased about that. Thank you, Heidi. He's out now, as you probably noticed, and he's got a new member of the family. Do you know that? Oh, yes. My best mate has got a new member of the family. I'll tell you later. Adrian, my pussy is watching you as well again today. Animal rights, I should get a ticket for just getting in early. You'll be banned from all tickets if you keep asking for tickets. Who do you think you are? Why should you be special, Adrian? No extra tickets, dear. None. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Thank you. David in Hemels there. Good morning, David. He's in Benidorm Pride. Benidorm, oh my lord. I went there once, 1983. It was all right. That was for my honeymoon, believe it or not. And we stayed at this hotel called Le Hotel L'Orange. Le Hotel L'Orange. Because they say hotel and then the name, don't they? Over here, it's the other way round. Like Mandarin Oriental Hotel. Savoy Hotel. You know, Lansdowne Hotel. Go abroad and they turn it. Why is it then Hotel Orange? Hotel this. Why is that? Isn't that strange and mysterious? It's those foreigners again, dear. It's those foreigners again, isn't it? They can't write. No, I don't have to change things. So that was at Benidorm. And I always remember this Hotel Orange. We got in this lift and it started moving. There was no internal door. I mean, they only build half a lift in Benidorm. Is it different now? They only seem to build half a lift in Benidorm. No internal door to come across. Got cold going up the stairs. Very dangerous. You put your hand out, you'd lose it, wouldn't you? I bet there's no automatic stop or anything like that. Dreadful. David said, all the TV in Benidorm is Spanish. It's not. Did that shock you, did it, David? Funny that, isn't it? Oh, dear. He's complaining that his TV in Benidorm is all in Spanish. Never mind, you can watch me. Do you want me to do an extra long show? 4 hours. Is that long enough for you, David? Wandering Haggis, you do love to talk a lot, as your sister husband says. You do, Martin Putley. Well, we do like to talk. Well, it's a talk show, isn't it? That's why. Adrian, you might want to be a Disney witch, but you are the campers. Which is going to be camper? The Disney witch, of course. Morning to Rachel Wheatland. David's there. Good morning, David O. Glad you like this shirt. I can't wear it another day to the karaoke tomorrow. No, it is starting to smell a bit. It needs a wash. I mean, I could give it to my sister, but I don't know. It's taking a mick, that is. I'll take it home and wash it. Let's just scroll down a little bit there. Rachel says, I wish spells were real. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Michael Lawrence, Chris, you can be Sleeping Beauty and wait for a hunky guy. Have a long wait, mate. I'd have a long wait. They only like young, pretty people, don't they? Never mind. Good morning to Mick the Mowers. Morning. Well, slap me sideways with a wet fish and call me Sally. How is it, people? Oh, is that the sort of thing you do, Mick? Well, you're a dark horse, aren't you? My mother-in-law's told me about you. What a day. It's always the quiet ones, you see. Always. And talking about being slapped around and things like that, well, I'd hate to be a member of the Conservative Party at the moment. They've had their whips taken away. How are they going to go to those parties anymore? I DJ'd at one of those once. Pfft, that was an experience. People were walking around whipping each other. But they didn't scream in pain. They actually seemed to be enjoying it. Is that what you do with a wet fish, Mick? Good morning, sir. Rachel, your shirt matches the background. Yeah, just about, doesn't it? That's right. I'll have to scroll down a bit. Once again, I'm not keeping up. We won't do any show if I just read messages. Morning to Paul and Lou. Good morning, Paul and Lou in Birmingham. There's my nephew, Gary Butler. Good morning to you. Mark Kepner. Morning, Mark. God bless Mary. Thank you, Robert. That's nice of you to say so. You do love to talk a lot, don't you? Of course, it's a talk show, dear. Okay, let's stop talking for a while. Now, what do you prefer? Exactly, dear. It's a talk show. That's why I'm talking. Good morning to Mr. Ray Reynolds. Morning, Ray. Nice to see you there. Chris War. Good morning, Chris Raw. Morning, Chris. Chris War is in the house there. Adam's going back to Slimming World next Wednesday. Well done, Adam. Yep, you go there. I keep saying I should go back to Slimming World and lose this extra weight I've got around mid-weight, but maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Hello to Kiki D, loves the Lee Marvin song, Wandering Star. That certainly does remind me of my childhood as well. Okay, right, and good morning to Tony Power in the house, and Joseph McDonald speaks Spanish. Go to España all the time. I know you do, darling. I think I can speak Spanish. Hola, that's about it. Hola. Hola. And hello to Juan in New York. Roy the boy just joining us as well there this morning. So a very, very good morning to you all. Well, as I say, yesterday we had Mary's funeral yesterday, which was lovely actually. Sometimes I've been to funerals and there's lots of crying and screaming, and there wasn't really that one of those funerals. It was a much nicer, very respectful event, I found. The funeral was at 12 o'clock at St. It's a funny name, the church. Our Lady of Hugh, I think it was, Hugh. And I'd never heard of that. Catholic church, which is right bang in the centre of Camden Town. And the mass time was 12 o'clock for the service. So for 12 o'clock, I left my house just a touch before 10 o'clock in the morning. It's generally an hour's journey. If it's an important event, I usually double the time. Okay, so I gave myself 2 hours to get there. I already sort of worked out where I was going to park and everything. And off I went. And it's a good job I left 2 hours, because an accident on the A40, I was coming from Bracknell in Berkshire, so M3, M25, M40. There was an accident on the M40, which completely stopped the traffic. We were literally just sitting there and inching along slowly. And then my sat-nav jumped into life and suggested an alternative, so I went that way. And then as I went that way, it took us back onto the main road again. So I thought, oh, they've cleared the accident. But that put, I would say, half an hour onto the journey. That, you see, well, there's a lot of people out there, including my best mate, who really annoyingly works out a route to the minute and then leaves no room for error. Like, for example, I go to the oh, I mean, how stupid is this bloke? Oh, it's so annoying. I'll tell you what this is. I've arranged something to be delivered at my house, right? Normally, oh, I mean, how stupid can it be? Normally, what happens is that leave it outside or in a safe place, which I've told them. Now, this item I've been delivered is worth 10 quid. 10 quid. I've had laptops left outside my door before over the years. Okay? They just leave it outside. This tambourine worth 10 quid, not been delivered. Twice they've tried to do it now. No one thinks to ring you or tell you that it's going to be delivered, do they? Oh, it's so stupid. I'm not going to pick that up because that's in Reading. That's like half a day's journey. Well, it's not half a day's, a couple of hours journey, that is. Oh, it's so stupid. Anyway, so I got through the traffic, and as I say, my mate times it. So I go to hospital a couple of times a year, right, for a checkup of something. And sometimes he said, do you want me to take you? And I'll be, yeah, well, yeah, you can take me today if you want to. He goes, what time's the appointment? 12 o'clock. Okay, so we'll leave at 11. I said, no, we won't leave at 11. We'll leave at 10:15. Oh, that's too early. Well, that's what time I want to leave. Oh, well, why? And then we start rowing. Well, don't take me then. It's okay, I'll go on my own, no problem. Oh, no need to be like that. And it starts going like that. No, it's my bloody appointment, dear. I like to be at an appointment very, very early. I can be at the doctor, and often you get pulled in early anyway. You know, so I might be sitting in the hospital, and then my lovely, great doctor, Dr. Mike. Oh, and he's got a great sense of humour. Oh, you're here. Go on, you better come in then. And I'll be in there an hour before my appointment. That often happens. And I like to be somewhere early. And it's a blooming good job I did do it yesterday. Otherwise, I would have been late for the mass. And I hate being late. I really, really hate being late for anything. I will be at a very important appointment, a minimum of half an hour before I start. Similar at work. You know, if I'm doing a karaoke night on a Monday karaoke night starts at 7:30. I want to be there at 6:30. I can be ready by 10 to 7. But that's okay. Anything goes wrong, I've got some time to sort it out. Similar on a Friday. I start at 8:30, okay? I like to be outside the pub, about to go in at 7:30, you know. And sometimes you go in the pub and they're not ready for you. They haven't moved people out of the way or got the table. And you do the whole yacht yourself. So I like to build in a good amount of time there. I don't know how you are with that. Anyway, so I got to Camden eventually. There's this road you go down, which is a very, very busy road coming from the top, sort of, and you go down this sort of gentle hill, and there's shops either side. A very, very busy road. But during the hours, I think, of 10 till 4, you've got what's it called now? Pay as you go parking. What's that called? Pay as you. Well, you know, you park your car, and there was loads of parking spaces, loads. This is a really busy road in Camden. But mind you, with the cost of the parking, I'm not surprised no one wants to park there. So I'd gone in one of these long bays, you know, it's like not separate bays, long bays where lots of cars can go in. And there's a sign, you know, pay by phone. You can't put coins in. I'm already set up for that. I think it's called the Ring Go thing. So you've got an app on the phone, and you get your phone, and there's like a number on the pole, right? And it says number of parking space 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. How long do you want to park for? Do you want minutes or hours? So I thought, well, don't risk it. Always book more than you need. Don't book just enough, because I guarantee you'll be late back to the car, and there'll be one of those ghastly people who we all hope have terrible early deaths, who are walking up and down taking your number and issuing £60 fines or whatever they are. They walk along with their little clipboard, don't they? Very, very important people. Very, very important people. And you look at them and you're thinking, I want you to die. So walk by, don't you? So you type in this information, and then it texts you. So you got the text. You then have the proof that you've paid. You have paid it was £8.40 for 2 hours, dear. God's sake, £8.40 for 2 hours, and it has now started. So that was it. I literally then walked a few yards down, crossed the road, a few yards down, and there's the church. Couldn't have been much closer. I wouldn't have been any closer. The only person that was closer to me parked in the church was poor Mary, who was in the coffin being carried in, dear. She was close enough. I think I was the next one, which is a bit worrying, to be honest, if I'm that close. So there was some people that standing outside, including a little group from Central Station, which is where she came in the later years of her life, along to the karaoke. I have to tell you, Mary supported me at a lot of karaokes. I met her in a place called the Spread Eagle, which I told you that story the other day. And she's been to a couple of the Belushi's branches that I did, the Camden Eye. There was another place as well, the Golden Lion, and more recently Central Station. And her last song, I think, for karaoke that she sung was indeed 2 weeks ago with me when we did together the Grease Megamix. I got chills, and I feel incredibly privileged to have been that last person that she sang with. Really, we sung that song a few times, and a couple of weeks ago we had to help her up onto the stage. She had a brain tumour. Cancer, which unfortunately came back a few times over the years. She had it in various different places, I think, and lost one of these as well, which she liked to joke about. So I followed, I followed her in these jokes, and sometimes I think you're trying to make the person with the illness joke laugh, and indeed you succeed. And other people around them are offended. Well, it's not for you. Shut up. This is for the ill person. I'm trying to make them laugh. Not interested in you. Oh, but they might be really upset. Don't you think they'd tell me? Go away. And you do get that sometimes. I didn't get it there at Central Station, actually. Generally, people know what I'm like. I'm a little bit of a joker and what have you. And I do feel incredibly privileged to have been able to sing that song last with her. Also, as the disease progressed, she had trouble talking a little bit, like getting the volume out of her mouth. And one of the songs she would start singing was Tequila, because of course there's only one word in it. And she would change it to something else. I can't remember what now, Carlsberg or something like da 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 Carlsberg. And I'd stop the music, you see. I said, what do you mean Carlsberg? It's tequila, dear, tequila, tequila. So we did have a laugh. Anyway, so we went into the church. I think I sat 1 to 3 or 4 rows back. The family, of course, quite rightly, all at the front there. There was a little organ playing, lovely things. There were no hymns. No, sorry, that's not right. There were no hymns for people to sing as such. There was no hymn books or anything like that. However, there was a couple of people who sung the hymns next to the organ, which I thought was quite a nice thing. There was a couple of hymns we all knew anyway. The Lord's my shepherd, da, 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 and Morning Has Broken, you know that one, da, 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 da. And I think there was another couple of Irish songs that I didn't know, and it was all very, very nice. But you know the best part of it, her brother is a priest, and her brother came out and did the whole mass and everything, and he was funny. And his mannerisms and looks were exactly as Mary's. And it was surreal watching all this going on. It really was. So nice. Her son said one of the readings. I think her daughter did a reading as well. And it went off very well. Very, very well indeed, I have to say. Really, really lovely mass. About an hour and 20 minutes. Catholics' funerals are quite long, although you don't really notice the time while you're sitting there and standing. And, of course, kneeling up, down, kneel down, sit down. Yeah. Oh, we do all that, love. Well, it's very important to keep exercising, dear. You don't want to just sit there. You don't want to just sit in a seat, do you? And then from there, we went to the crematorium. Now, I do like... sounds a bit wrong saying that. I do like a funeral in a church, okay? I like a wedding in a church. Wedding in a church and registry office, you can't compare the two. You really can't. It's like a conveyor belt, isn't it? And it's the same, I'm afraid, in a crematorium. I'm not a fan of crematoriums. The particular very, very short service for Mary. It was fine and all that, you know. And the difference between a crematorium and a church, it's not so religious in a crematorium, and you get to play any songs that you want. And just before we said goodbye to Mary, yesterday, you know, the coffin was on that thing with the curtains, the rolling thing, whatever that's called, the doors at the back. I'm not keen on crematoriums. I find them extremely impersonal, and you really are on a conveyor belt. You know, I got in the car and I gave a lift to a couple of people, Johnny and Joan, very good friends of mine. They came in the car with me, and as we got there, we parked, and we couldn't go any further forward because the last lot was still coming out. You know, I mean, obviously, when we parked the car, we got out of the car, we're just kind of standing there waiting for that lot to go. And I just don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway, we went in, everyone else arrived, Mary came in, comes on there, a short service, a few people saying some nice things and what have you. And then the very last song they played, I think, was Mac the Knife, which, of course, she used to sing at the karaokes. So, and then that was it. And then we walked away. The curtains didn't close and the coffin didn't disappear into the back. You literally, the priest said goodbye, and that was it. And we walked up to the coffin. I walked up to the coffin, touched the coffin, along with many of the other people. Virtually everyone in there just went up and said goodbye, and we walked out, and that was the end of it. So that was it really. At the end, at karaoke nights, I've got to tell you, Mary used to steal. I have some instruments, or I had some instruments. I have a pair of cymbals, which I didn't have with me yesterday, but I did have a tambourine and maracas. Over the years at Central Station, Mary used to drive me nuts, because these instruments would come out for certain songs and I'd be bashing away at them, and I'd put them on a long bench behind me on the stage, you see. And Mary would come up and nick them and hide them from me. I can't tell you the amount of times she used to do that. And it used to drive me nuts. I would ring someone up, and I'm not telling you who. I won't tell you who, because they might not want you to know. I'd ring this person up, and I say, oh, she nicked my blooming instruments again last. Well, why don't you say something? I said, well, I can't. They're supposed to be props. I said, what's going to happen is they're going to be nicked one day and then put on a table, and someone's going to walk out with them, and I'll have to get some more. Every blooming week, she would wait for me. She would wait for me to turn my back and not look, or when it was her turn to come up and sing the song, when she was perfectly mobile, she would nick these two instruments. And I'm like, where are they? I haven't got them. I haven't got them. It's a bit like that. And half the time, she'd hide them up her skirt. I kid you not. She would. And she used to drive me nuts. Well, as the funeral approached, I kind of thought in my ears, I must get some flowers or something. And then the family had decided they didn't want any flowers. They wanted a donation to the Macmillan nurses people, who are a wonderful, wonderful organisation who look after people who are really ill like that. So I thought, oh, right, okay. And then I don't know what it was. I was doing something, and I suddenly thought to myself, I know the ideal thing to take down and give to Mary as a sort of going away present. Can I show you this photo? Okay, it's nothing, you know, nothing unsensitive. She didn't, of course, have any flowers, but outside the crematorium there was a couple of little flowers laid down. Look. You see that in the mirror in the middle there? That is the tambourine and the maracas that I've had for years, actually, that Mary kept stealing from me. And there we are. And I thought to myself, well, you wanted them all these years, you can blooming well have them now. So that's it. There you go. So that text message you heard come into my phone a little while ago was someone trying to deliver a new tambourine to me, but they've taken it away. Oh, I'll have to go and get that now, won't I? So that was my story yesterday. Jumped in the car after the crematorium. I didn't go to the wake afterwards to travel up here north. I'm in Lincolnshire now, of course. I stopped at this garage on the way coming up here, BP garage, for a sandwich. I was so hungry. Sandwich and a bag of crisps. And I got caught up in there. All these cars were trying to fill up, and I got caught in them all. I didn't want petrol. Bought that. On the way up here, I stuffed my face with a family bag of cheese and onion crisps and a nice ploughman sandwich. Got up here and then the acid started, didn't it? I thought, oh, that's because you've eaten bread again. I get terrible acid, bread and crisps actually, so dreadful. And that was my day yesterday, okay? Right, let's just scroll up and see some of your messages here. Oh, gosh, there's so many of you, isn't there? Morning, Alan Dalton, good morning. We're not doing the raffle tickets quite yet, Alan. I'll let you know when to ask for them, all right? Good morning to Tony Power. Roy the boy there, good morning, Roy. Thank you very much, Roy, for congratulating there. We have a monetised YouTube channel now, monetised. So there we are. Carol says, I notice your hair is blowing in the same direction as the palm trees. Is that right, Dave? Do you remember that? Who was that black guy? Singer. And his hair was like that. Bobby Brown. Remember Bobby Brown hair? That was a bit odd, wasn't it? It kind of went off to one side. Just scrolling down here. Good morning to Laura. Morning, Laura. Welcome along, Laura. Rachel Wheatland says, we have a New York in Lincolnshire. Yes, we do. It's not too far from here, Rachel. Where did you say you were, Rachel? I can't remember now. Morning to Michael Pullman. He's in Australia. Morning to you. Oh my God. It's pouring with rain. Absolutely. I can hear that. Just suddenly started chucking down with the rain here. Rachel's on her work. She's part-time. Oh, you're there for 6:30 in the morning, are you? Oh, that's not bad, is it? I'd quite like, if I had the choice of working at a time, I think I would start really early morning, something like 6. You'd be out at 2. Did you get out at 2? About 2 o'clock, or you part-time? Hayley Witt, good morning, Hayley. Mark's back from his little break there. They did do, I heard Danny Boy being played right at the beginning on the organ. I don't think they actually sung that last night, though. Okay. Thank you for R.I.P. Mary there. Let's just scroll down here. I can't keep up with you this morning. Thank you, Claire. Yeah, thank you, Claire. But I haven't got a tambourine or maracas at the moment. I'm going to get some more different colour. Yeah. Hull Beach, that's where you are. Hull Beach, good. And Paul and Lou used to enjoy watching Mary on the karaoke cam. She seemed a lovely person. Oh, she absolutely was. She absolutely was. Alrighty, now we've got the raffle tickets to do. How are we doing for time? I haven't been here too long this morning, have I? Oh, I have. Nearly an hour already, never mind. Yes, we're going to do the raffle tickets very shortly. So if you want a chance of winning the next fridge magnet, which will be on Monday morning, sort of around somewhere between 8:30 and 10 o'clock, then get ready. You'll need a raffle ticket. I'll tell you about that shortly. Right, let's read some more there. Chris Cross, a very good morning to Chris Cross this morning. Thank you. Mark says, would you like to sponsor me just a few pence for going sober in October? No, because I don't think you'll be able to do it, Mark. You'll have a sneaky drink now and again. I know you will. I don't drink, actually, not at all. Now and again, I have a little glass of champagne. Actually, I did have a little sip of Prosecco. Literally a sip. I'm really funny about drink driving. I won't touch a drop, usually, drink driving. But Tanya, who's Mary's daughter, Mary's niece, she turned up with a couple of friends at the karaoke on Monday night for a bit of a celebration, and they had a bottle of Prosecco and they gave me a glass. I can't have that. And she's pushing this to me. I said, look, I really can't have that. I will have a little sip, and literally like that. Oh, it was delicious. Oh, I do like a glass of champagne or Prosecco, don't you? Eh? But I will not drink and drive ever. No, I've seen some terrible accidents driving up and down the motorways over the years. Good morning to Jason Hughes. Welcome to the show, Jason. All right. Paul and Lou says, your sister has very loud farts, Chris. I subscribed to Retro Store. Yes, feel free. I've had this idea, actually. I know there's some of you on here that do your own shows. And it's nice that we're kind of getting to all know each other now, which is all down to my brother-in-law. And I suggested something to him. See what you think. How about those of us that do shows, we do a little promotional video, 20 to 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds, maximum 45 seconds, about your show, like, hello, I'm Chris. I invite you to join me for my chat show, United Kingdom Talk, at youtube.com/Chris Wiiliam UK. And we could send that to each of us and all play that out within our own shows if you are technically able to do that. I'm going to do wonderful things here with my little broadcast software, OBS, you see. So I don't know what you think about that, Roy the Boy in particular, and Mr. Mick Motors there. Just a suggestion there. Just a suggestion. We could play out that video within our own shows to advertise other people's shows. Kind of a network. Kind of a network. Because we all do different things, don't we? You just imagine, you know, if you switch something. I had this over the years. As a DJ, you know, you get someone come into the pub. So, oh, you know, we've just been down so-and-so. I like his DJing better. Well, go there then. Well, can't you do it a little bit more like him? No, this is what I do. That's why we do YouTube, isn't it? You know, as a boy, I really wanted to be on radio. Seriously, I wanted to be on radio. But that was in a time when every radio show was different. You know, you'd have all these wonderful personalities. We're all of an age, you know. Most of you will know people like Tony Blackburn, Dave Lee Travis. Okay, Jimmy Savile is a paedophile, but at the time we didn't know that, so we'll include him there. Jimmy Savile, Ed Stewart, all those people, big personalities doing their own thing. You listen to the radio now, everyone sounds the same. They all go to this radio school and they're told what to say. I mean, it's just, over the years, as the years went on, I thought, I don't think I want to do that job. I did end up on radio once, a station called Liberty Radio in London. I did overnight with a very good friend of mine, Danny Cowan, who's one of the Channel 4 announcers. He's the one with the thick Irish accent. You may hear him when you're watching Channel 4. And now on 4, he's got the, but with Irish accent. And now on 4, I can't do Irish. And now on 4, no, I can't. And now on 4, oh, just about. And now on 4, well, he's got that Irish accent. That's Danny. And he was working at this radio station, Liberty Radio in London, owned by the owner of Harrods, Mohammed Al Fayed. And the machine that was playing the music overnight kept breaking down, so they quickly needed some people to come in and cover it. And myself and my very, very, very good friend, David Rosen, who was a DJ at the time as well, he now drives a minicab. We were pulled in and did, I think I did about 1.5 years on their Liberty Radio. But because it was overnight, kind of they're not bothered about what goes on overnight. So we used to just chat away and play a few tunes and take a few phone calls. It was great. Really enjoyed it. But after that, I thought I might like to do radio, but I didn't really do anything about it. And as time progressed and all these other radio stations came on, they all sounded the same. And I thought, well, you're not entertaining me anymore. Okay, you're telling me the time. You're telling me the name of the station, like 200 times an hour. You're telling me the weather and bits of the news, but that's it. You're not entertaining me anymore. And I kind of lost the will to do that. I did do some online radio stations. I did a station called CMP Radio, an offshore music radio. They were just 2 of them. I think there was another couple as well. And on there you had free reign, you see. You know, you could, as long as you didn't. It's all about common sense, you know. I'm sure most of you are the same. Anyone who's sort of over 50 has common sense, you know. We don't need a rule book. Not like some of these blooming kids when you're talking to them on the phone. And they're reading out a blooming script. No personality whatsoever. But that's what the corporations want. And that's what the radio stations want. There's some new radio stations, actually, if you're dialing up on the DAB service from Heart. Now, again, Heart Radio, there's no entertainment there. Not really. You turn on this girl on Heart Dance, I can't remember her name. So, yeah, well, you must be so excited for the weekend. And I'm thinking, life isn't like that. I never used to speak like that. And it's the same thing. Every week she comes out with the same thing, telling us either at the beginning of the week, what a wonderful week she's been at, and she went out to this club and that club and this club. And then, as the week goes on, she starts talking about how excited she is for the next weekend. I bet she ain't. I bet she ain't. There's no entertainment whatsoever. And then there's some news stations. That's Heart Dance. Quite like the music on there, to be honest. Toby Anstis, he's all right in the morning. He was at Liberty with me, actually. He was a nice bloke to work with. Really nice. Now, I've worked with some lovely people there. David Hamilton. I worked with David Hamilton. He did the breakfast show, which was directly after me, you see. It was fantastic to be able to have worked with such people there. The two news stations that have appeared, I think last week, were Heart 70s and Heart 90s. So one station's all 70s, which I have to say I've had on a lot. But there's no DJs. Or at least I haven't. I must be tuning in at a time where there are no DJs. It's just one song after the other. Well, I want someone in between entertaining me, telling me a little bit about this, that and the other and their lives and a bits of news. You know, not massive amounts of talk. I do like talk stations, but on my journey up here sometimes, I mean, my choice is Ian Lee. I'm not a fan of Ian Lee. That being said, he's popular and very good at what he does. It's just not for me. You know, Ian Lee, not my cup of tea at all. Don't like him. And then the other, that's on talk radio. I like talk radio. I like Julia Hartley Brewer and the bloke after her, Mike Graham. Mike Graham on talk radio, who will be on in 10 minutes' time at 10 o'clock. So I listen to him on the way to the swimming. He talks a lot of sense. But at LBC, you get what was he talking about the other day? I turned it on. Well, I had to turn. Oh, Brexit. I turned it off. Can't be bothered to listen to that anymore. You know. So I turned the music on, and it's like playing this 70s stuff, which is nice. But there's no one entertaining me in between the shows. The music's fantastic. Heart 70s. Do try it, okay? Heart 70s. Let's have a look down here. It's just scrolling up there. Oh, Laura's moving down to Dorset today, aren't you? Yes, Westwood Television. That's really old, isn't it? Oh, TSW. It's all one now, ITV, isn't it? Oh, talking of ITV, did any of you see... Any of you see A Confession? Because I haven't seen it myself yet, but there's a lot of complaints about camera shake in that. They've obviously had these producers come up with these ideas. Oh, let's start shaking the camera. Do you remember that film Cloverfield? Oh, I used to do my head in. I went to see that at the cinema. I was so excited. I thought, oh, it's one of those science fiction films. And the whole time, this bloody camera is shaking. I thought, oh, maybe it's just the beginning of it. Something to do with the opening credits. They've done it like that. The whole time, this camera was shaking like that all the time. Done my head in. I had to leave in the end. Why does that keep going off? Really did my head in. Well, apparently it's the same as on a new programme on ITV called A Confession, which I haven't seen yet. Is that right? It's got camera shake all over it. How annoying is that? I did see a new programme last night, which I highly recommend on BBC One Colour, The Capture. Anyone see that last night? It's good. Really good. 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights, straight after Holby City. Nice to see Jack Naylor back in Holby City this week. The Capture, BBC One Colour. Very good. Morning to Martin Edwards. Good morning, Martin. Okay. Let's have a look. Mark Bowles, for his charity that he's doing, his target is only £100. Well done on that. That should be quite easy to get to, I would imagine. Rachel hates drink drivers. Honestly, I won't touch not a drop. That's very unusual that I even had a sip. I'd be terrified. The police don't pull you over when you're a bit older. Certainly not the speeds I go to on the motorway. They wave as they go past me. Hello, officer. Have you got trouble with your engine? No, just driving slow. I don't want to be pulled over and breathalyzed. Thank you very much. Morning to Mike Harniman. I'm very well, thank you this morning, Mike. Thank you. Rachel doesn't have a show. She just had a pay. She is Wonder Woman. Oh, don't tell them that, Rachel. all the straight blokes will be clicking on you now, hoping to see you in a very skimpy Wonder Woman outfit. They're all straight, but just let's have a look at Rachel. All right. Thank you. John says I've got the perfect face for radio. Thanks very much, you ugly bastard. Thank you, John. It didn't sound Irish, says Mike. No. Smooth radio. Yeah, again, good music, but there's no presenting, really. No presenting, just boring bland. I really don't like bland. And Mike quite rightly says they play the same songs every 3 or 4 times an hour. Yes, including on that Heart 70s, which has been on air now for, I think, 4 or 5 days. And I'm hearing the same songs come round all the time. It is boring. We don't like bland. Bye-bye, Juan. See you soon. Were you the only smaller DJ than Diddy Hamilton? He don't like being called that, you know. I don't think he likes being... I didn't call him that. Jason, Hart have just got rid of our local presenters and gone national. We've got to put up with Theekson and Holden. I'm a Radio 2 listener now. They've changed the music as well, haven't they, Radio 2? Get ready for raffle tickets, gang. Ray, such a shame that radio has changed so much. I've lost interest. I lived through the best period of the 1960s pirates. I wish I was around then, Ray. You know, of course I was, but up to 7 years old. Up to 9 years old, 63 to 69. I was born in 63, so... not as a child, you didn't really get into it. But the 70s radio was good as well, I think. John said Cloverfield was supposed to look like that, filmed on a little camera. Oh, he loved it. Did you like it, John? See, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I had to leave. I was getting a blooming headache watching that. Camera shaking all the time. Like, you don't mind now and again. I get that. Now and again another camera comes out and stuff. So I get that. But the whole film was like that. It didn't stop shaking. I felt quite ill. Quite ill, dear. Rachel was classic casualty yesterday. Oh, he's been in there so long, and Charlie been in there since day one. All right. My hubby got pulled over for driving too slow. Did he? Well, how slow was he going then? Blimey. Laura, I would listen to your radio show. Thank you, Laura. But the trouble is, Laura, I don't think I'd be able to get in anyway now. There's very, very few radio jobs now. They've all been networked. All the local jobs have been cancelled, right? But even if I did, they'd want to be telling me roughly what to say and when to say it. There's no fun in that. You might as well be stacking shelves. It's more exciting sitting on the till in blooming Budgeons than being on local radio these days. Honestly, awful. Michael, do you listen to classic music? It's classical. Yes, sometimes I do. I listen to Scala. I like the jingles. Scala. Anyone heard that Scala radio? Bye-bye, Roy. The boy's off now. Bye-bye, Roy. What's Rachel's channel? She hasn't got a channel. She ain't got a channel. Just a Facebook thing. Okay, just a Facebook page. Right, John says A Confession is really good, a great cast, and it's a true story. So I just haven't seen that yet, unfortunately. All right, okay, gang. Let's do those raffle tickets then. It's raffle ticket time here on United Kingdom Talk on Monday. We'll be holding our next draw. You can win a fridge magnet, and if you want one, a little signed photograph of me. All you've got to do is have a raffle ticket. You can have one raffle ticket per show. Okay, one raffle ticket per show, no more than that. If you're watching a recording of the show, you can claim your raffle ticket by email. Only claim a raffle ticket once per show. If you do it more than that, or change your name or something like that, because we get the IP address as well, I will know, and you'll be banned from the future raffles, to be fair to everyone else, gang. And any raffle tickets you've got will be taken out of the pot. All right, so here we go. Who wants a raffle ticket? Mark, do you listen to Capital Gold on the radio? No, not anymore. Not anymore. I did when Tony Blackburn started it. But again, they took the personality away from that as well, didn't they? Right, John Aitken. John Aitken, I'll give you a raffle ticket now, okay? Please only ask once. You're number 439. There you go, John. Can you see that there? Oh, you can't. So you can't see the name. Oh, yes, you can if I hold it at an angle. There you go, John. You're 439 today, all right, Johnny boy? 440 goes to Michael Lawrence. There we are, 440 to Michael Lawrence. I must get down that swimming pool today, dear. They've probably forgotten I exist. All the kids are back at school as well, aren't they? I actually be able to get from one end to the other, I think. Laura used to listen to Heart but changed over to Magic. Heart playing the same music. Yeah, see, it's not just us radio fans that notice these things. Laura's nothing to do with radio, you know, and she notices as well. It's just the same blooming music all the time. Awful. All right, Mark Bowles. Thank you very much, Mark. 441, Mark. Okay. Paul and Lou, 442. Paul and Lou. Once I get to the end of giving out your raffle tickets, wait till the end. And if you've heard me miss out your name, then ask again. But please give me a chance, because there's a lot of names to scroll down while we're doing these. All right, my darlings. Claire, and you must say ticket, please. If you send a message, I'll read your message, but you won't get a ticket. Otherwise, I don't know who wants tickets and who does. All right. 443. Oh, Claire. Oh, there you go, Claire. 443 for you, darling. All right, Claire. Tommy Flynn. Good morning, Tommy. You're right, my friend Tommy. Tommy Flynn. Flynn. They are 444. Someone did suggest, and Mary would have laughed. Mary would have, I nearly said died laughing. Mary would have died laughing. Someone said that I should take one of my fridge magnets and stick it to the metal bit on the coffin. Very inappropriate. If she had have heard that, she would have killed herself laughing. I'll tell you that now. 445 for Mr. Jason Hughes. Hello, Jason. Hughses. The Yo 445. Mary was, of course, cremated yesterday, and then you see, you don't cease to exist, do you? You become something else. You do. You become something else. Okay. So Mary, she would have, you know, don't want to explain it too much on you know, the day after, but you know what happens at cremation, right? So then you become part of the air and the earth, don't you? You become part of something else. You don't disappear completely. You really don't. Thank you. That was Jason. I did that. David said you'd end up being sacked like Kenny Everett and Russell Brand. Yeah, I suppose so. Kenny Everett was great, wasn't he? How fantastic was he? Do you remember him? Joseph McDonald. It stopped raining again now. The rain has been replaced by planes. 446. Incidentally, I'm very pleased to tell you that my neighbours aren't here at the moment. No children, because they're at school now. Fantastic. No noise. It's dead quiet again. I love it here. My Rachel says I'm me on Wonder Woman on YouTube. Oh, well, post your link there, Rachel. Don't be quiet, my darling. Get your link up there and let other people watch. So you have got a YouTube channel, have you? Post the link up the channel, darling. Michael Pullman. Michael Pullman. There you go, sir. 447 for you, Michael. Okay. Gang, as always, thank you to those of you that are copying the YouTube link and sharing it to your wall or subscribing, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/Chris Reed in the UK if you haven't done that already. Wandering Haggis. Wandering Haggis. I presume you're in Scotland, are you? Or were you in Scotland and you're now wandering? Whereabouts are you, as a matter of interest? 448 for you, sir. See, I write the names on the back as well. You can't quite see because it's very... I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay? There's your names I write on the back there. Because someone will say, oh, that was my number. No, it isn't, because I've got your name written on there. Not you, Mr. Wandering Haggis. Rachel Wheatland. And there goes my 10 o'clock clock. Can hear that chiming away there. 449 for you, Rachel. All right, my love. 450. Let's have a look there. Hayley. Lovely Hayley. Hayley Witt. There you go, darling. Oh, that tent's not leaking. You know what I mean. There you go, Hayley. Adam says, if I'm on the road, I always tune into vintage episodes of United Kingdom Talk. Currently listening to summer 2010. Did I have hair then, or had it already disappeared, Adam? I might have disappeared by then. I don't know. We are follically challenged. Some people were, all these bloody politically correct idiots, they won't say words, will they? Like bald. Oh, no, I'm not bald. I'm follically challenged. How sad are you? Why do people not want to use the word? No, a word to describe myself. I can't think of one, to be honest. 451 goes to Martin Edwards. There we are. Martin Edwards. Don't forget, gang, if you're watching a recording of the show, you can claim by email. Send us an email to that address and I will reply to it. Sometimes not immediately. Okay, it might take hours sometimes. Just depends what I'm doing at the time. And then I pull out the emails and I do them all in one go. So there we are. 451 for you, Martin Edwards. Adrian Richardson. All right, my friend. 452 for Adrian. I'm just trying to think what the show is on Saturday this week at the pub. Did you notice, Adrian, I've changed the music on Saturday nights? I've brought that forward a bit. 452 for you, Adrian. Don't know if you noticed that or not. We were playing sort of 70s, 80s. I've pulled it forward now to the 90s in there on a Saturday night, like mixed dance versions, which I think it's working actually. Where are we? Adam the plumber. Adam the plumber. 453 for you, Adam. Okay. This is for the fridge magnet. Draw on Monday morning, sometime between 8:30 and 10 o'clock. Okay. 454 for lovely Laura. Who's moving? Oh, it's a blooming old job that is moving if you've already got a house, Laura, I'll tell you that. Mike, you can tell the kids are back at school. It's everywhere on Facebook. Oh, is it? Are they all moaning? Get back in that school. Lock those doors and don't come out till 3:30. All over the country at this very moment, parents are throwing parties. Swingers parties, I've heard, dear. Who's been to one of those keys parties? I bet you have, haven't you? Huh? Have you been to one of those where you all chuck the keys in the middle of the floor and you end up going home with someone else? Shocking. What a terrible thing to happen, dear. Well, it's like being in Chariots. It really is. John, Magic Soul is a great station. I've heard that one. Yes, I like Lamar at the weekends. He talks about the songs and artists. Now, Lamar, for a while, when Tony Blackburn was having all that trouble, he did the Radio London Soul programme. Have you heard that, John? Tony Blackburn's Soul programme. That's on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. BBC Radio London. Full of personality and jingles and everything. You'd love it. You'd love it. Morning to Millie. Morning, Millie. Ticket number. Ticket number for Millie, the lovely Millie. 455 for you, Millie. All right, 455. John said Kenny was a lovely guy. Did you know Kenny Everett? I wasn't really on the scene at that point. I still thought I was straight and I was doing the whole married thing and all that. Got it all wrong, didn't I? Never mind. David in Hamilton. Tickets, please. I hate you, Butler. you got to get the DVDs of On the Buses. Oh, laugh a minute. Like, oh, we can't show that on the telly. It's really sexist. Well, don't watch it then. I ain't got time for these people who keep moaning all the time. David in Hemel. They moan and they moan and they moan, don't they? There you go. David, all right. 4, 5, 6 for you there. How are we doing there? Good morning to Fun Things with Tech. Good morning to you. Scotland, my real name is Matt. Is it? Oh, I might not remember that, wondering how it's. But what part of Scotland are you in? Are you in the Highlands? Tell me you're in the Highlands. What a beautiful place that is. Oh, and you know, it's so long since I've been there. I was 16, I think, 26, 36, 46, 40 years ago I was in the Highlands. I was camping with the Scouts. Oh, so... And we went through this road that's going through the Highlands. It's like, you know, just a narrow road. Miles and miles with nothing. And then you end up in this, like, little village. Oh, I loved it. Braemar. Stayed at Braemar as well. Oh, you're so lucky up there. You really are with that. Hayley, what's my number? You didn't say. Didn't I? Oh, you're joking, Hayley. Oh. Ross, no, that's Paul and Lou. Oh, I don't know. Oh, where is it? Well, your number's written on the back here, Hayley. Can't believe I didn't say your number. Oh, Christ. You're not going to make me go for all these, are you? Claire, Paul, there's David, Joseph. Anyone know what Hayley's number was? Oh, God. Did I give you one? I don't think... Maybe I didn't write one out, did I? I'm sure I gave you one there. What number are we up to? 460. Well, it's not going to be one of those then, is it? 452. Gee, I haven't written one out. I haven't done one for you. Isn't that funny? Oh, good. Well spotted, Hayley. 457 for Hayley. Okay. Hayle. You know someone to look back now to check I haven't given you two, don't you? How sad are they? Hayley Witt. There you go. All right. 457 Hayley. Someone to look back now. Oh, you gave her 2 tickets. Well, if you find out what the other ticket number was, write in and let me know. But use the email for that, and I'll take it out. All right, there you go, sweetheart. Okay, you're chatting away there. Let's have a look. Danielle, the tickets for a fridge magnet. Do you want one? Do you want one, Danielle? The tickets are for a fridge magnet, and that will be done on Monday morning between 8:30 and 10 o'clock, okay? All right, that's what they are for. Good morning, Danielle. Welcome to the show. Let me know if you want a ticket, okay? You must ask for a ticket if you want one. John, I've been a slaphead for years, quite happy. Just wash and go. Well, it's very easy, isn't it? Very easy. Don't say dwarf. It's vertically challenged. Yeah, words that people aren't allowed to say. Well, they don't like you saying anymore. Dwarf. They hate that word, don't they? Fat. You're not allowed to say fat. Load of old crap, that is. It's these people that have been to university. They're so full of themselves and they have nothing. Nothing. Paul and Lou have now subscribed to Rachel's channel. Oh, there you go. Got you another subscription today. Okay. Oh, they're all posting pictures of their kids going to school, Mike said. Yes, indeed, my niece did that this morning as well. She's posted a picture of her 2 delightful people going to school, George and Emily. I think probably the other one will do that as well. I haven't seen it yet. Perthshire. I don't know where that is. Not quite sure where that is. All right. There we are. Adam posting one of my old shows there. I'm glad you like the shirt, Eric. Thank you very much. He's in Tel Aviv. Wonderful part of the world. You ever get a chance to visit Israel, please go. Everything you learned about at school in many religions, not just Christian religion or Jewish, the Muslim religion is there as well. I don't know if the Buddhist people have got stuff there, but certainly those 3, the Jewish people, of course, it's their country. So Jewish people, the Christians and the Muslims. I think there's another one there somewhere. I can't think what it was. It's all there in Israel for you to go and see. Please go and do it before you go. Seriously, that's got to be on your bucket list to visit Israel. Don't think you're going to get bombed or shot. Very unlikely. Very unlikely. When you run into all these soldiers in Israel, which does happen sometimes if you're going through a fence or a checkpoint, they are there to look after you, okay? Don't worry about it. It's fantastic. The Dead Sea. If you don't do the religious thing, just go and lay in the Dead Sea. Oh, and then try and swim in it. Very difficult. It's really difficult to swim in the Dead Sea because your legs, your legs. So you can swim, but when you go and try and put your legs back, you'll know this, Eric. You'll know this. When you try and get your legs back on the feet, they kind of won't go down. It's weird. Even more difficult is when you're swimming on your back. You don't have to do anything. You just literally lay in the water like it's one of those air things. It's fantastic. But then you try and put your feet back down again and you can't get them on the floor because the water is so thick. It's like a soup. It's really salty. The other thing they tell you in the Dead Sea, they tell you to do your best not to get that water in your eyes because it will sting with all the salt in it, okay? All right. Can you imagine an Alf Garnett on the TV now? No, they'd all complain, Jason. They don't see. This is the thing. People have lost their sense of humour. I don't know if we're ever going to be able to get that back again. But I haven't got time for these people. I just walk off when they start mouthing. I'll go away. I just walk off. Don't even bother entering into a conversation with them. I go back home and I turn on something like Mixed Blessings and I turn the volume up. Camping out with the Scouts. That's right, David. That was me. Right. Kenny Everett used to come into a shop I was the manager of. He was quite naughty but nice. Always invited me to his parties, saying that I must come. Elton and Freddie were going to. Did you really meet all these wonderful people? You are lucky, John. You are lucky. You really are. All right. Paul and Lou says, I watched a show from 2010 the other day. It's improved a little bit. Mike, it's difficult to swim in the Dead Sea because your legs go dead. Well, kind of, yeah. Good morning to Weird City Citizen. Morning to you. I remind you of a happy Carl Pilkington. Who's he? Carl Pilkington. Was he the one that murdered? Did he? Carl Pilkington. Was he the one that murdered or hid bodies or something? Yes, he didn't he murder people? Now what was that It was an excellent programme on BBC One Colour a couple of years ago now. Pilkington. Oh, I can't remember now. Laura's been. Israel is very beautiful and very friendly. Family. Are you Jewish, Laura? I've family out there and have visited so many times. I actually feel safer there than in London. I absolutely agree with you, Laura. I used to walk out in Tel Aviv at night time, to get a pizza or something along by that sea. Oh, I stayed at the hotel, which if you're Israeli or anything to do with them, you may know the Hilton Hotel, which was attacked by people coming across the sea, and the army got everyone out safe. I think possibly someone in the army died doing the job that they do, sadly, but I think they got everyone out of the hotel safely. The Hilton Hotel, that's where I stayed. Carl is the little guy, friend of Ricky Gervais. No, I'm not a Ricky Gervais fan, I'm afraid, John. Not a Ricky Gervais fan. Okay, and good morning to Heidi Young this morning. I'll stop there with the tickets. 458 Heidi Young, okay? Heidi Young. So I put Tiffany in brackets. Heidi Young. Heidi Young. No children here today, Heidi, I'm pleased to say. There you go. Heidi Young, 458. All right. There you go. That's it. We'll close the lines for tickets. Okay. If you want a raffle ticket now, you'll have to email into the show, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and I'll get you one back by return email. Alrighty, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday. I've got to do yesterday's as well. Your aunt's married Israelites. Okay, Israelites? Israelis? Is that the same thing, Israelites and Israelis? Not sure. I should have to ask some of my Jewish friends, that one. Yes, we'll do yesterday's birthdays as well, because I didn't quite make it to you yesterday, as you well know. Happy birthday today first, on this Wednesday, the 4th of September 2019, to Sebastian Roughly. Good morning, 39 years old today. Happy birthday, Seb. Mike Harniman, who's with us. Oh, you kept quiet about that, didn't you, Mike? You're checking to see if your birthday comes up or not, isn't it? Is that what it is? Happy birthday to Mike Harniman, who's with us this morning, actually. 32 years old today. That was my favourite age that I was, Mike, was 32 to 47. That's my favourite age period in between that. 32 and 47. I had a whale of a time. Parties every night, dear. Parties. But don't believe, those of you that are not quite 40 yet, don't believe all that thing that is over at 40, because it's not. It gets better. Life absolutely gets better at 40, and now I'm over 50 and it's even better. Seriously. All right, you don't have people throwing themselves at you. Oh, wow, I really fancy. I don't really get that anymore. But that doesn't matter, because you have other things. So good morning to you, Mike. Who's got one? Oh, you've got two profiles there, haven't you? Look at that. Good morning to Dow Roberts. Morning, Dow. Happy birthday to you, Dow. Dean Delicado. Today is 31 today. Emma Rachel Harper, 33 years old today. Wiiliam Mackay. Wiiliam, 54 today. Rocco Robert Theobodo is 43. Aaron Reed. Good morning, Aaron. Happy birthday to you. Terry Tezza Eastham. Good morning, Terry. 56 years old today. Just a touch behind me. Happy birthday, Terry. And Paul Alban today is 39 years old. So that's today's birthdays. On yesterday, Tuesday, the 3rd of September 2019, it was Scott Lewis's birthday. Good morning, Scott. Happy birthday for you for yesterday. He's raising money for the Macmillan Cancer Support people. Justin Anderson. Justin Left Eye. Another year passes, Justin. He used to come along to the Black Cap where I did the 70s and 80s. No, I think, but actually by the time he got there, I think we were doing 80s. No, we we were doing 80s and R&B, weren't we, if I remember rightly. Happy birthday, Justin. Chevon Anderson yesterday was 34 years old. Neil Wolfson's birthday yesterday. Good morning. Nuno Rodriguez Payo, 42 years old yesterday. McGoo, who's a singer. Happy birthday to you for yesterday. Anne Duffy yesterday, 62 years old. And one of my own namesake, Philip Reardon. It was his birthday as well yesterday. So, boys and girls, oh, there's Mike thanking us there. See, you kept quiet about that, Mike. Happy birthday, gang. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. David says, when you get over 50, they don't throw themselves at you, they throw things at you. Well, I hope you're not going to start doing that to me. I generally throw little bits of paper at people sometimes at the karaoke. You may have noticed that. All right. John loves the song by Desmond Decker, Israelites. Nice reggae song, that one, isn't it? Good morning to Peter Lake joining us right at the end of the show there. Jason's on holiday for 12 days. No more listening to the woman in the office moaning when you're doing this. Have you done that? They moan and they moan and they moan. Oh, God, yes. They moan and they moan and they moan. Just like the MPs in the Houses of Parliament. What's going to happen today? It's all going terribly wrong in the Houses of Parliament, isn't it? What do you reckon's going to happen today, eh? Oh, God. We don't do politics and Brexit on here. There's no point in sitting here rowing with each other, really, is there? Right, that's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to talk to you again this morning. And hopefully I'll see you around about the same time tomorrow here on Facebook or YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK. I shall go and take my pills and be off to the swimming pool. How exciting. Thanks for watching and listening. Cheerio now.